Norway's $47 billion coastal highway. A Scandinavian nation, Norway is home to mountains, glaciers, and extensive coastline with fjords. The capital, Oslo, is a city with parks and museums. The Viking Ship Museum in Oslo has preserved Viking ships on display. The starting location for cruises to the breathtaking Sørnefjord is Bergen, which has colourful wooden buildings. They are now planning to build a coastal highway. Do you know about this highway? Well, watch the whole video to learn more about it. But before we do move on, please hit that subscribe button. Norway is renowned for its skiing, hiking, and fishing, particularly at the Olympic ski resort in Lillehammer. But when it comes to building highways to connect the cities, the same topographical wonders presently extreme challenging problems. Norway, a country that cares about the environment, needs solutions that will both ease traffic and protect its gorgeous fjords. But it can't maintain the current situation. The E39 route, which connects the north and south of Norway, travels along the western coast of the country, with 7 ferry crossings in between. The 1,100-kilometer journey down the coast of Kristiansand and Trondheim takes 21 hours. The fact that boats rely on the weather and are far too slow for the 21st century makes it difficult to develop this vast territory. The government is considering ways to connect the land pieces with asphalt in order to improve traffic flow, but it's challenging. Some of the world's most stunning scenery can be found along Norway's western coast. Some of these fjords, which have been carved by glaciers over the years, extend 200 kilometers inland and are more than a kilometer deep. The largest infrastructure project in Norwegian history is now being undertaken by the government to improve access to services, housing, and employment markets in the country's western areas. The E39 connects Kristiansand in the country's extreme south with Trondheim in the north. The route travels across the network of fjords and includes no fewer than 7 boat crossings. By constructing a number of bridges and tunnels across and beneath the topography, the new Coastal Highway project seeks to completely eliminate the need for ferry services. The Norwegian Public Roads Administration is looking for novel solutions, because many of the fjords along the route are either too large or too deep for traditional infrastructure to traverse. Rogfast is the first of several bridges that will connect the E39. Creating a 27-kilometer or 16-mile undersea tunnel that will connect Stavanger and Haugesund. This structure will be the world's longest and deepest undersea road tunnel, with a maximum depth of 390 meters below sea level. In reality, the Rogfast project will involve 2 tunnels connected by emergency exits every 250 meters. Along with telephones and security cameras, each tunnel will contain a lay-by space every 500 meters. The tunnel will also have a mid-route intersection with the island municipality of Kvitsøy, connecting the island of the Norwegian mainland and creating an undersea tunnel junction. Even though Rogfast works are already underway, the project team is facing extremely difficult engineering hurdles because of the size of several other fjords. South of Bergen, in the Bjorn Fjord, which is 5 kilometers wide and 600 meters deep, an idea for a floating bridge that is anchored to the beach at both ends has been put forth to span this treacherous stretch of water. There has been proposed 2 options for the Sørnefjord crossing. The first is for a suspension bridge with 3 towers, 2 of which are anchored to the land and the third to the sea floor, around 400 meters below the surface of the water. A submerged floating tunnel alternative would involve 2 connected tubes running side by side and being connected to the seabed by strong cables. Similar to the Rogfast project, a 16-kilometer undersea tunnel connecting Ålesund and Midsund with a 2-kilometer suspension bridge leading to Molde is necessary to cross the Romsdalsfjord. The Sørnefjord crossing, also referred to as the King of the Fjords, is by far the most difficult and ambitious of all of the coastal highways. The largest and deepest fjord in Norway measures more than 3.7 kilometers in width and is a staggering 1.3 kilometers deep. The large number of ships that frequently approach the fjord must also be taken into consideration by engineers, even though these great distances provide their own difficulties. Any crossing must permit a clear shipping channel with a minimum width of 400 meters, a clearance of 70 meters above the water surface, and a minimum depth clearance of 20 meters. The project team is looking at a variety of crossing options for this fjord to deliver this. A conventional suspension bridge is the first type. Such a bridge would have a span that is 3,700 meters long, almost twice as long as the longest bridge now in existence. It would also need support towers that are at least 450 meters high, easily surpassing France's 343-meter tall Millau Viaduct to become the world's highest bridge construction. In addition, a floating bridge is also being discussed. Achieving such a feature in a bridge that is just anchored to each shoreline faces significant engineering hurdles that have yet to be overcome. However, this structure would need to be elevated to allow ships to pass. A submerged floating tunnel is also being considered in a plan similar to the one found at Sollefjord. We've got an interesting proposition for you. If you subscribe to the channel, then you'll be able to travel to Norway for free. Just kidding. But do consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you. The tremendous depth of the Sollefjord will cause this concept to be slightly different from its counterpart. The tubes will be suspended from floating pontoons that will permit ships to pass above, rather than being anchored to the seabed. A hybrid plan that combines a floating pontoon bridge with a section of a floating tunnel that allows the ships to pass is also being considered. The combination of the two floating structures would result in the world's first instance of such a solution, even though fixed bridges transferring into fixed tunnels is not an uncommon solution in the waterways with high shipping traffic, such as the connection between Denmark and Sweden and extensive Hong Kong to Macau crossing. Finally, the E39 coastal route will run continuously. It will be upgraded from the existing 2-lane highway to a new 4-lane highway. The new route will offer several significant advantages. First off, it will cut the distance between Kristiansand and Trondheim's travel time from 21 hours to just 11. It will significantly increase Norway's connection, fostering economic expansion and raising tourism. The proposed roadway will also increase traffic safety along western Norway. And by connecting the isolated Troja and Kvitsøy islands to the mainland, it should encourage development there. 4 floating pylons will be attached to the ocean floor and form this structure, which would resemble an oil rig. Norway's massive coastal highway project is expected to set a new standard for engineering prowess and serve as a template for the future infrastructure projects around the world, with safety and environmental concerns of the utmost significance. The project does, however, have several problems. It's a tremendous engineering challenge in the first place. Many of the connections will test the boundaries of structural engineering or make use of novel, unproven technology, and because they're being built so near the ocean, they must be able to withstand the powerful winds and high waves. Second, due to the length of Romsdal Fjord's tunnels and the Rogue Festival, fires and car accidents will be a significant concern. Furthermore, perilous driving conditions will result from Norway's severe winter weather. Finally, $47 billion is a significant sum. Some people believe that there isn't enough traffic on the E39 to warrant such a significant renovation, and that it will be challenging to raise the necessary funds. Norway will need to take out numerous loans from foreign investors to pay for the project because government funding is insufficient. Thankfully, these problems are being dealt with. Engineers are currently working to make the connection both an emergency and structurally possible. In the tunnels, laybys will be positioned every 500 meters. In order to melt snow throughout the winter, Norway is now considering heating the motorway. Norway is certain that it can finance the project through tolls, which will be collected for the first several decades of operation. The brand new coastal motorway in Norway has advanced since it was first opened in 2016. The Hogfast Tunnel's 2-kilometer long side tunnel, which will convey excavation materials while it's being built and thereafter function as a ventilation shaft, started being built in January of 2018. The first section of the project ended excavation in January 2019, while the second tunnel was finished in June of 2019. However, in October of 2019, building on the project was put on hold due to financial problems. Fortunately, the Norwegian government accepted a new Hogfast price tag of $2.9 billion in November 2020, an increase of $900 million from the first estimate. Hopefully, now that the issue's resolved, work can start again. The highway's other links are still in the planning stage, and the tunnel is currently slated to open in 2029. By 2050, the E39 Coastal Highway is expected to be fully constructed. Once finished, it will connect Norway's western coast with cutting-edge bridges and tunnels that cross the spectacular fjords in the area. But what do you think about this project? Do comment your thoughts down below. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, and bell icons. You can always refer to other amazing videos on our channel, and we'll be back with another amazing video very soon. Goodbye.